We've got the Subaru Ascent, and it gets a refresh.
Is this the forgotten 3-row utility? Easy now. There's a CVT at play.
It's got some good power.
It actually drives really, really well. We'll get into that. This is a facelifted product, and they need to facelift it because no one really knew it existed.
It looked like a Forester.
Looks like a pregnant Forester. Let's get into what's under the hood of this pregnant Forester.
A 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder matched to a CVT. It has 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. Standard all-wheel drive.
When you fill this up with every tank of fuel, you get about 652 kilometers or 405 miles of range. All right, so they've updated this. It's got a mid-cycle refresh. More on what you get in a second. Right now, what are the key standard features?
The base trim comes with an 11.6-inch touchscreen, wireless Apple Carplay and Android Auto, a 4.2-inch driver display, a 6-speaker audio system, power driver seat, manual passenger seat, heated cloth seats, 3-zone climate control, 8-passenger seating, and EyeSight Driver Assist Technology. In the US, the power driver seat and heated front seats are not standard.
Have you got the CVT in sport there, Andrea?
Can you put it in sport?
Well, what else can we put it in?
You can put it in snow, dirt, normal, deep snow, mud, but got to put it in S for subscribe. You can hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure to like and subscribe, but also follow along on Instagram to see what's up behind the scenes. For me, it's Motormouth_auto, and the links are below the like button. Smash that too. So this is what they call a mid-cycle refresh.
Yep.
New front. What else do you get with this? What's new?
Well, it looks bolder, doesn't it? I think that the front...
I have some few opinions on that in a moment, yeah.
I think the front is a little bit cluttered. It is an upgraded front and rear. You also get the latest version of EyeSight Driver Assist Technology with a wide-angle mono camera. You get the larger 11.6-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Also available is a new surround view camera featuring a 360-degree overhead view and new Cabin Connect for improved third-row communications. Do you know how I connect with the rear seats? Shut up back there! We're gonna pull this car over.
That sounds like a super patient dad.
You know what that is?
Way to go, Zach.
That's old school, Andrea. That's the way we did it back in the day. You be quiet. If I have to turn this car around, you'll be sorry.
So true.
All right, so back to the front end. Does that make sense? Back to the front.
Yeah, to the front.
So what we see at the front now is a trend. We saw it with the CR-V, where you put the exhaust ports on the front. See the CR-V, you can see the chrome surrounds there. They look like exhaust finishers, but they're on the front.
It just looks too cluttered. I would have liked it to look a little bit more streamlined, cleaner there. I think we could avoid those vents in the front.
So this is all done, back to my theory about it looks like a pregnant Forester.
Yeah.
They needed to have something to differentiate it from the Forester because people really don't even know this vehicle exists in the marketplace. It's the forgotten 3-row SUV, and it shouldn't be because it does a lot of things really well.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the way that this handles. Maneuverability is excellent. Even the turning radius for such a large vehicle is very good. Power is sufficient. You will find on the highway when accelerating quickly, definitely hear the engine match to a CVT, no doubt about that.
No doubt about it. And the other thing is that this is, in my opinion, an Outback, but bigger. It drives to me like an Outback. It's got the same turbo. It's got the same CVT. It feels like a slightly bigger Outback, which is good because it drives more like a car than a utility. It sort of defies how big it is on the inside.
For sure. And if you have any mobility issues and you have trouble
is that a shot, Andrea?
Up and over, Zach has hurt his back. There has been some mobility issues.
I got a sore back today.
So this is fabulous for somebody like Zach to get in and out of the vehicle with the larger doors. Fantastic, because you have a lower driving position in here. It's just so easy and comfortable.
What's that? What did you say?
This gets 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is very good. Comes standard with LED headlights, LED taillights. You get 18-inch wheels, but available 20-inch and a temporary spare tire.
So Andrea touched on it earlier. You do have the big screen we've seen migrating through the Subaru family, and I kind of like it. Now, we did notice today it was a little bit slow going from one screen to the other. We're hearing that complaint from people. It's a processing issue, obviously, but at least I like the look of it.
Yeah.
It's well laid out. You've got information at the top, information at the bottom that always stays on. I would say 80% of the screen is what you change.
And there's plenty of storage in here. The center console storage unit is fairly deep. You've got bottle holder areas on the door pockets.
You have three. You could put 3 bottles in there.
I mean, it is well done. There isn't too much piano black in here. You might see it around the screen. That's about it. And I think that the trim in here is also nice. Now, keep in mind, we do have the top model right now.
They always send us the top model,
For sure. It comes standard with cloth upholstery. You can get leather. This has got Nappa leather in either black or this nice brown color. And then you've got the Onyx trim with that all-weather material that we like, Zach.
Yeah, that was used first in the outdoor models. I like the parcel shelf here in the front. It's very reminiscent of the Highlander, has something similar. I'm not loving the wood trim. I just think wood trim, I don't know. It looks...
Feels a little old-fashioned.
Yeah, it looks a little old-fashioned. What? So Andrea, what about the packages in this thing?
In Canada, I think you would be happy just going up one from the base model.
You always say that.
Really, listen to the features that you get. One up from the base model.
Listen, Andrea,
listen up, Zach.
She's done the research. One up from the base. What do you get?
Heated steering wheel.
Like that.
Power liftgate. Panoramic sunroof.
Wow.
How about that? And it also adds blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. If you want those extras, which you just might, one below the top model, which is the limited trim, is also a 7 or 8 passenger vehicle. So you can get the captain's chairs or the bench seat. And that adds the 14 speaker Harman Kardon sound system. Navigation, driver's seat memory, a power passenger seat, leather upholstery, and heated rear seats. It's the top trim that gets ventilated front seats and the 360 camera. Unfortunately, there is no wireless charger in the Ascent. However, in Canada, it is a manufacturer's install, and in the US, it is an option. So you can get it if you want it.
Okay, that's a dealer install. You
That's
say,
right.
give me an Ascent and throw in the wireless charger for free.
it.
Good luck with that. All right, what about America? Let's get into it. If you go one up from the base model, it adds the power driver's seat. The Onyx model adds the heated steering wheel and the panoramic roof. The Premier trim gets the power liftgate. If you get the limited trim, it adds driver's seat memory, heated second row seats, and a power passenger seat. Now, the top 2 trims get the 360 camera, navigation, and the Harman Kardon sound system. The top trim adds ventilated front seats. Some of these features are available in packages, however, on lower trims. All right, so here's me getting in the back seat. Huge doors. That's a major benefit of Subaru vehicles. The doors swing wide, you can get in. There's plenty of headroom and legroom. It's a big vehicle, and of course the seats slide fore and aft.
Comparing the Ascent to the Toyota Highlander and Honda Pilot, the Subaru has 42.2 inches of front row legroom, which is more than these two competitors. The Subaru has 38.6 inches of second row legroom, which is about the same as the Highlander, but 2 inches less than the Pilot.
And then you slide that second row forward. Very, very easy to slide yourself into the third row because they built a nice little step into the door jamb. It's very comfortable. Not huge, but comfortable.
Third row legroom at 31.7 inches is 4 inches more than the Toyota and just under an inch less than the Honda.
If you lift the liftgate, power operated on this trim, you've got a fairly useful cargo space and quite a bit of space underneath, and that's where they store the tonneau cover.
Space behind the second row at 43.5 cubic feet is less than the Highlander and Pilot. Space behind the third row at 17.8 cubic feet is more than the Toyota, but less than the Honda. Overall cargo space at 75.6 cubic feet is less than both of these competitors.
All right, you want to compare this to others, so let's get into it.
Time now for questions, coffee, and cars.
Your questions from Instagram.
Love the channel. Thank you so much. Considering that the Ascent is a 5,000-pound tow rating, how durable and reliable would this be with a Turbo 4 and CVT for a household that regularly tows a camping trailer compared to, say, something like a Honda Pilot or a Nissan Pathfinder? By the way, both have a V6.
What Pathfinder? Yeah, you're right. Okay, listen. The key word in all of that is regularly. You tow regularly.
Yeah.
If I was going to tow occasionally, like say I had a little utility trailer, I was taking stuff to the dump or picking up some lumber at Home Depot, no problem. But I wouldn't tax a CVT regularly.
Hey, look, it's capable. It has a 5,000-pound towing capacity, but I don't know what fuel economy you're going to get with a Turbo 4 if you're towing regularly. And also, I don't know about the longevity of a Turbo 4 with towing all the time.
I'm more concerned about the CVT. I mean, that's what I would think.
And a V6 is, you know, tried and true. We know that it works. We know it's going to be around.
Get a good old
but
8 or 9
less and less
speed.
are available now.
Yeah, get one while you can.
Love Subaru. Is the Ascent still competitive with other products in its class? How does it stack up against the Grand Highlander and the new Pilot?
Well, I call it the Grande Highlander. She's a biggie.
She's a biggie.
It's tied with the Atlas for the biggest, along with the Chevy Traverse, as those are the 3 biggest in this class. So I would say it's not really up against the Grand Highlander. It's more against the regular Highlander. What was the other one?
Honda Pilot.
And the Pilot's gotten bigger too.
It really has.
This is a really well designed. We already talked about it already. It's a very well designed family vehicle. So I think for functionality, it's as functional as the others.
Yeah, the Grand Highlander has some other options as well, including hybrids. And it's priced a lot more. This really goes up against the Highlander. And when you start comparing pricing top trim to top trim of the Ascent against the Highlander, the Ascent comes in Canadian dollars about $2,000 less than the Highlander. As for the Honda Pilot, Honda, you're going to pay more for Honda. It's just the way it is now. Top trim to top trim in Canadian dollars. It's going to be an extra $7,000 for the Pilot.
Wow, but they did a good job with the Pilot.
They did.
So it really comes down to, are you motivated by price? And if you're motivated by price, the entry level of this is very nicely done.
Yeah.
And offers amazing value. And it's very well designed.
And one thing I do like about the Pilot is that it's an 8-passenger vehicle on the top trim. And so is the VW Atlas if you're looking for a bench seat on the top trim. That's not the case with this Ascent or Highlander or Grand Highlander for that matter.
By the way, I've got a question.
Oh yeah, Zach?
What's
your question?
I didn't do it on Instagram, but I kind of have an inside track to Andrea, so I've got a question. What's the next one?
I thought you were going to ask a question.
Oh no, I'll do it after.
Oh, you're going to do it after. Okay. Wow, what kind of a question, Zach? Is it difficult to access the third row?
No, it's really well designed. Back to the point I just made a moment ago. It's
sure.
so well designed. The doors are huge. You've got the little steps to get in the back. I mean, it's not enormous, but boy, it's really well done. Okay, here's my question. We did a couple of trips on the I-5 from Vancouver down to Seattle recently.
Yeah.
And you know when you're in the left lane trying to go faster than everybody else, and there's like a train of 10 to 20 cars behind one slowpoke?
Yeah.
What was the brand that was the slowest every single time?
Subaru.
What is it with the Pacific Northwest?
I know.
It just type below. What is it with Subaru drivers? They drive so slow.
And it was either the Outback, mostly the Outback, or
I
the
don't know.
Forester.
Or an old clapped out piece of junk. So here's the pro tip.
And it was still going though.
Now, of course it was still going. Here's the pro tip. If you drive a Subaru, you want to up the brand. Pull over and let everybody go by.
Get in that right lane, please.
I have a little saying. Left to pass, right to save gas.
Smart.
That's right. Smart.
Ask him.
Just ask me.
He'll tell you he's smart.
And now it's time for our hot topic. What's this one, Andrea?
Great vehicle, but poor gas mileage. They should add the hybrid. It will solve the gas mileage problem.
So Andrea, I'm at Subaru head office and I'm like, I'm going to build a 3-row utility and I'm going to put in a turbo 4-cylinder with a CVT, I'm going to get magical fuel economy. No. We're going to do the vital stats in a moment. And what's shocking is that all of that should give you great fuel economy. It does not.
It should. I think that would be the reason why you would buy this, is because of the CVT. But unfortunately, something like the Highlander, where they've moved to the 2.4 liter turbo 4 with an automatic transmission, gets better fuel economy. This 1 liter per 100 kilometers better, and 2 to 3 miles per gallon better than this. And then something like the Honda Pilot with a V6 gets pretty much the same as this. And then if you look at the Telluride, not as good as this, but it is a V6,
and
just a little bit, worse fuel economy.
Yeah, but it's a much bigger vehicle. And then the other thing over at Toyota, they do have a hybrid. So Subaru, we believe, they haven't made any official announcements.
No.
Is obviously partly owned by Toyota. There is going to be hybrid development. It's coming. We don't know when. Hang in there.
This is our feeling, and this is not confirmed by Subaru or Toyota, but we're thinking the Forester comes out in 2025 with a hybrid option, and then maybe the Toyota RAV4 gets a full
refresh,
redesign that year. Maybe that's kind of the timeline for that. We don't know for sure. This is just our guess.
Okay, let's get into the official fuel economy numbers and more in our vital stats.
Let's start with pricing. We'll do Canada first and then move on to the US. The base trim is just over $43,500, and the top Premier trim is just over $56,500. In the US, the base trim starts at under $34,000, and the top Touring trim is just over $48,000.
Here's the fuel economy. Not great in the city, 12.3 liters per 100 kilometers city, 9.4 on the highway. That's just 19 miles per gallon city, 25 miles per gallon highway. This Ascent is rated to tow 5,000 pounds, and it comes with a warranty of 3 years, 60,000 kilometers, or 36,000 miles. There are a whole bunch of 3-row utilities. We chose 4.
For your consideration, 4 vehicles for you to consider.
Up first is the Hyundai Palisade with a 3.8 liter V6, 291 horsepower, and a starting price just over $52,000.
The Mazda CX-90 with a 3.3 liter inline turbo 6-cylinder, 280 horsepower, and a starting price $48,500.
The Toyota Highlander with a 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 264 horsepower, and a starting price just over $48,500.
The Honda Pilot with a 3.5 liter V6, 285 horsepower, and a starting price just under $54,000.
So there are 4 3-row SUVs for you to consider.
Lightning round, 2 things we like, 2 things we like to see improved.
I like the space this offers and the maneuverability.
It is really well designed.
What I'd like to see, so it's competitive with the others in this class, put in a wireless charger.
And I'm with the hot topic. This thing needs a hybrid yesterday.
For sure. If you're in the market for a 3-row SUV, this one is comfortable and it offers good value.
If you want to drive a car that's an SUV, this is as close as you're going to get.